Good day, everyone. I'm Saturnino Condesa Gumbot III and Mr.
Joseph Condesa Cesario Jr.
Okay, today, let's talk about communication. For you, Mr. Cesario, how you define communication?
Thank you for your wonderful question, Mr. Gumbot. For me, communication is the act of giving, receiving, and sharing information. Communication is the simple process, the way you talk, write, read, and listen. And also, communication defined as transmitting information to produce greater understanding.
In addition to Mr. Cesario, communication have 7 elements, which is sender, encoding, message, channel, receiver, decoding, and feedback. Mr. Cesario, can you give an idea about the 7 elements of communication process?
Okay? First, we have the sender. Sender are the foundation of communication process. Is led by the person who transmit and sends the message.
Sender also is very important in communication process because without sender, communication can't be processed. Just like for example, in our relationship, if no one will be courage to speak first, the problem cannot be solved. Okay, let's move on. How about the other elements of communication, Mr. Cesario?
Okay? We are done to the sender. Next is encoding. Encoding is to translate information into a message. And also, the sender begin with the encoding process. Message. Message can be written, oral, or symbolic, or non-verbal, such as body gestures, silence, sign, sound, and etc. Okay? We are in a channel. Channel, it must be selected carefully in order to make the message effective and correctly by the recipient. Remember, the sender chooses the medium through which he wants to convey his or her message by the recipient. Receiver. Receiver is the person for whom the message is intended or targeted. He tries to comprehend it in the best possible manner such the communication objectives is attained. Decoding. Decoding is the way the receiver interprets sender's message and tries to understand it in the possible manner. The effective communication is only when the receiver understands the message clearly. The last, feedback. Feedback is a simple process in which the response of the receivers can be verbal or non-verbal. And that is the 7 elements of communication process.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Cesario, for sharing your idea about the 7 elements of communication. Before we end this, for you, Mr. Cesario, how the communication important nowadays?
Communication is very important nowadays. Since today, we are in pandemic, we should communicate each other in order to build unity. Because unity is the best sword to fight this COVID-19 virus.
Okay, once again, thank you very much, Mr. Cesario, for your time and your presence for answering my questions.
You're welcome, Mr. Gumbot.